Hello and welcome to Diva Dirt TV. My name is John Duffy and I'm a writer for DivaDirt.com. So once you watch this video, head over to the website and check out all the stuff that we do there every single day. But I'm here today for Diva Dirt Discussions, a new segment in which we shall be interviewing talent from all over the world. And today I have a very special guest, the one, the only, Heather Monroe. So without further ado, let's get to the interview. So without further delay, allow me to welcome the current Hurricane Pro Women's Champion, the Killer Bae, Heather Monroe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the crowd goes wild. Yeah, no problem. Good to be here.
Well, yeah, thanks so much for joining us today. So first off, easy question. How are you and what have you been up to?
I'm good. I've been up to luckily some more wrestling lately. So things have been kind of picking up in that regard lately, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, I've been just trying to keep as busy as I possibly can with that. So I'm not completely sitting on my couch all day, every day.
Yeah. So you had a really good 2019. You wrestled for promotions, AAA, Rise. So coming into 2020 with decent momentum behind you, what was it like when basically the world shut down and you were unable to kind of do what you do best and wrestle? And what did you do to keep kind of motivated and entertained, really?
Well, yeah, it was really hard. I had a lot of really awesome opportunities happening in March and April that obviously got taken away from me. So at the beginning of everything, it was really, really hard for me to cope with that. It was kind of like I had lost something and I needed to like almost grieve that in some regard. Yes. So especially after I felt like I was doing the best work of my career, like coming into it, and I was being rewarded for my hard work. So kind of felt like majorly bummed out from all of that. But I think as time went on, I was able to kind of get back into the groove and kind of refocus because there's literally nothing I could do about it.
Yes.
So you kind of have to go in with that being like, okay, well, there's nothing that I can do to fix this. I just have to keep moving on and keep making opportunities for myself. So, like I didn't watch wrestling for the first like 2 months, and like people obviously were trying to be creative and like do podcasts and all that. And I'm like, I don't even want to talk about wrestling right now. Like it was so sad, but, yeah, definitely like around May, June, I kind of felt a little better and started getting back on track.
Yeah, because in May you had a birthday.
Yes.
So did you get to celebrate it, or was it kind of like a party for one in your apartment, or were you able to go out with friends or virtual birthday parties?
And it was my 30th birthday. Like,
oh no,
that's a big birthday.
Yeah.
So I was staying once everything happened, LA was like majorly shut down, especially compared to other places. And they shut down like way earlier than everybody else too. So I went to Arizona where my parents live. Okay. So it's just like a 6-hour drive. I grabbed my cats, drove and like kind of lived with them for about 2 months. Yeah. So I had my birthday there. And we had they live in a retirement community. So it's already like a little bubble that we had of their like neighbors and people. We were like all like kind of, we would see each other, but we'd all be aware of where everyone's been. So they threw me a birthday party. Oh. So my parents and all their friends are who I celebrated my 30th birthday with. Oh, that's which was nice because they know how to throw a party. Like they made Jello shots and they were making I had an amazing cake and all these presents, and it was awesome. They really made it feel like it was kind of normal life for a second.
Oh, that's all you need, a cake and Jello shots. So that's really good. I also love the way Yeah, you said like it's only a 6-hour drive. In England, a 6-hour drive. You're going from one end of the country to the other.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
My brother-in-law, my sister lives in England. She lives oh gosh, I can't remember. She lives outside of Oxford right now, but
Okay, very nice.
And my brother-in-law is from Hull.
Okay, yeah.
So they're like, oh, the drive up to Hull, and I'm like, that's a 4-hour drive. That's like nothing at all. Like,
Yeah,
like, oh, we got to make the trek up to Hull.
Yeah, it's like,
like
the other end of the country.
Yeah. But I used to be like that because I'm from Iowa, and you can get across the whole state in 4 hours.
Right, yeah.
But now that I'm in California, I'm like, I literally drive an hour to get anywhere.
Yes, yeah.
So, it's easy for me now.
Yeah. So one thing, watching your matches, I get the sense of real like innovative and eclectic mix of wrestling styles. You've got like a real kind of lucha libre moveset going on with a nice mix of like martial arts and mat-based wrestling. Are those kind of wrestling styles that inspired you to get into the business, or is it something that you kind of incorporated through training and through wrestling over time?
I think I always wanted to be a high flyer when I was younger, because I loved Lita and I loved the Hardy Boys, and like that was my jam. But then, so I kind of always had the idea that I was going to be that type of wrestler.
Yeah.
But then when I actually started training, like the mat-based, more technical stuff came. I think that fit me more.
Right.
So that's where I kind of have always said I have like a little hybrid. It's like American Lucha, where I'm like, I can do some stuff like that, but I'm like mostly doing technical or like strikes, that kind of stuff. But I also was trained by Los Luchas at Santino Bros.
Yes. Yeah.
So we would have a specific lucha class every week to like kind of learn and do that kind of stuff. So it was really helpful in kind of creating a hybrid style for me.
Cool. Because what would you say? So you've just mentioned obviously the Hardy Boys and Lita. I actually, when I was a teenager, I actually shaved in Jeff Hardy chin straps. Yeah.
Yes.
much to my brother, ridicule from my brother. So what wrestlers and wrestling styles kind of motivate you and inspire you today?
I still like to watch like a lot of the old Shimmer stuff, and like Sarah Del Rey was always somebody that I watched in college too, that made me really want to do the more technical and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I really I'm trying to think of what I've been watching lately, because I went on a Gail Kim streak the other day of her old stuff.
Awesome.
And that was really good. But I'm trying to think of people like that are still wrestling today. Like both these people that don't even wrestle anymore. I really like, I'm so happy Serena Deeb is back.
Yes.
I think she's so talented, and everything she's contributed in general to wrestling, I think needs more of a spotlight on it. So I'm really happy to have her back. And she's definitely someone that I'm been watching more of lately.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's killing it, isn't she? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from your moves in the ring, your attitude and kind of confidence also shines through. Is that something that you found kind of easy to channel through your kind of acting and theatre background?
Yeah, I think that's always the part that's come the easiest to me, because I literally went to school for theater.
Yeah.
I've been doing it my whole life, and then I did when I moved out to Los Angeles originally. I took I would say about 6 or 7 improv classes. I was on. I like interned at UCB. I was on a bunch of teams. So like that like character stuff has always been my favorite parts of wrestling too. So it's always the thing I've leaned into the most.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the Killer Bae persona, along with Halston Body, is a really kind of perfect fit for championship wrestling from Hollywood. How did the kind of partnership come about, and how did you kind of help each other grow and become the kind of like stellar actor that you are now?
So Halston actually was a student at Santino's as well.
Okay.
They had a course which was managers, ring announcers, kind of production, and everything that isn't wrestling in wrestling. So him, Alyssa Marino, who was Kathy Campanelli, was in that class. Adnan, the ring announcer on Hollywood, was in that class. So it really created a good space for people that really want to be part of wrestling, but don't necessarily want to do the wrestling aspect of it, or don't just don't want to be in that position. So I met Halston through that. He was managing Dom Kubrick, who is my tag team partner, for a little bit, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. I was like, I always wanted a manager because I felt like Heather Monroe, my character, needs a manager, and then having this flamboyant and character that's just like over the top like me was a perfect fit. So he actually makes me look tame, I think, sometimes. Like I'm the straight man in that situation of like, he's the crazy one and I'm the straight man. So it was fun to collaborate with him. And then we always kind of bounce ideas off of each other on what we want to do and how we can kind of be creative and like take everything to the next level. So I'm really excited for the stuff that's coming up with Hollywood. I think it'll be really fun.
Awesome. Because one of the really good things that you've been doing in that company is your Best of 7 series with Lacey Ryan, and I love the way each match has a different stipulation. So you've got you false count anywhere, your submission match, and your taped fist matches. So first question is, ouch, how did the tape fist match feel? And it's a really great, interesting concept and angle and storyline. So who came up with it, or was it a kind of a collaboration between the two of you?
That was all the booking at Hollywood. They like kind of saw the chemistry that me and Lacey had, and were like, okay, we can run with this. And I just think, for me, I was constantly telling them we need an actual story, like to have the women and it's just me versus whoever, and I'm like winning. It's like, who cares about that women's division? Nobody. So I was like, we need more. And so they for sure listened to me. They gave me the Best of 7 series. And then what's going on right now is with the women's division is one of the biggest stories there is on Hollywood. And they're like really putting a lot of stock into us and like what we're capable of, and really letting us kind of hold up everything there. Yes. So, but with the Best of 7 series, I love that it's a new stipulation every time, and I'm pushing for even bigger things. So I'm hoping it happens, but kind of been sidetracked a little with this Nico Marquez bull.
It's okay. You can swear. Don't worry.
Okay. Don't tell me twice. I'll do it all the time.
Awesome. So after the kind of lockdown, shutdown, quarantine, you returned to in-ring action in August on AEW Dynamite as the surprise opponent for their women's champion, Hiroko Shida. So again, another kind of double-barreled question is, what was it like to kind of get back into the ring on such a kind of big stage such as Dynamite? What was the whole kind of AEW experience like?
It was really cool to like have my first match back being that, and I was it was a really, really good experience. I thought I was going to be way more like out of it but I had been training, luckily, before that, because secret gyms in LA that are still open. So luckily I wasn't like too out of it for that. But, and also I think just the adrenaline, because I got lucky and fortunate that the Dynamite that I did was the first Dynamite they had fans at.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So there was people there to like kind of hype me up, and the people on the sides there like are there, like the roster is there to like kind of give you that energy too. But it was a really overall like very, very good experience for me. I really like everybody that's there. I have friends there that I already had worked with, people that I knew. So that helped kind of make me feel like, okay, this isn't a weird space for me to be in. I don't feel like I'm in the way, like, so, and everyone was super welcoming and cool there. And I'm just glad I got a chance to show kind of what I was capable of, because I don't often get opportunities on a big stage during this time.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it was a great match. So it was a cracking debut. So awesome. And then following that, you got to wrestle Camille on the first ever UWM Primetime Live. So I know you're used to kind of the stage, just kind of sound stage wrestling vibe, but what was it like to kind of be a part of a brand new show that's gone on to really thrive?
Yeah, I was really happy to be able to be a part of the first one, and kind of wrestle somebody like Camille that kind of has a higher status than me. It's NWA, like she's, people know who she is. So it's always fun for me to get to wrestle new people too. So have new experiences. So it was really cool. And like the way they have it set up there, it really, like the vibe didn't make you feel like, oh, it's weird, there's no fans here. Like that, which was really helpful because it is such a tiny like space. So it doesn't feel like, oh, we're in this huge arena with nobody here. So it felt pretty good to be a part of that. And then it wasn't as weird as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, awesome. Because then you got to kind of more recently, you got to wrestle at the Collective weekend against Layla Hirsch at the Shimmer 118, and that was obviously in front of a lot more fans, obviously in the little sections and bubbles and stuff. So what was that experience like? Because in AEW they're higher up, aren't they, the crowd?
Yeah.
What was it like to actually kind of get back in front of fans that were like, a lot more closer and audible and more visual?
Yeah, so I had that one for sure, and then Hurricane actually had run like right before that with fans. So I was like, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is what it's supposed to feel like again. Like, it was really nice. And I think in both those cases, and especially with the Collective, people were just happy to have wrestling again. So they were very like supportive crowds of like, just loving everything. And it was, I had a lot of fun just wrestling on those and then watching a couple of the shows as well.
Of course.
Cause it's been a while for me too. So it was nice to like be with the live crowd and like enjoying it.
Awesome. Because that was kind of that was my next question. Was you just defended the HPW Women's title against Amber Nova. So was that previous to the Collective or post?
That was post the Collective.
Right, okay.
And now I'm trying to think because
I think it was on 26.
Well, no, because Taya, I wrestled Taya, and that was the first one back, and that was in September. Okay. So that was before. Cool. Yeah, so that was before. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure that was before, but now time doesn't make sense to me anymore because of all this. So like when did anything happen?
2019 seems like 20 years ago, doesn't it? Yeah.
Seriously. But then again, I'm like, how is it November?
Yes.
Like, but yeah, so Taya, the Taya match was the first one back, and everyone was just excited to like be able to be at a show and watch wrestling live again.
Awesome. So at least, and you've now got to retain the title in a match against Amber Nova, which I watched this morning, which was excellent. So
thank you.
That was great. And then to top it all off, you were recently ranked number 97, pardon me, in the PWI Women's 100. So obviously, how did that feel? Is it like a sense of validation or an achievement, or is it a kind of more of a driving factor to kind of improve and get further up the list there for next year?
Yeah, a little bit of all that. I felt really cool to be recognized, especially because I think out here on the West Coast, it's a lot harder to get recognized. There's just not as much wrestling. There's not as many big promotions. Bar wrestling, I think, really put me on the map, which obviously is not going to be a thing anymore.
Yes.
So for me, and I do think Championship Wrestling from Hollywood has really allowed me to shine and has put me on the map as well. Because that's the one where I get recognized for that more than anything. Like I was over in England in November, and there was people coming up to me at the show like, "Oh, we watch you on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood," and I'm like, "That's crazy to me." But so it's validation of the work that I've done when I don't necessarily feel like I get the same recognition as maybe I would if I was in another state or like wrestling out of a different area. But now I'm like, okay, I want to make it bigger now that people like kind of know who I am. Okay, now how can I keep my name in there? How can I elevate myself and be better?
Well, yeah, definitely doing that. Especially now that things seem to be kind of opening up. The name is definitely coming up on the indies. So, kind of bringing the interview to a close. You've just mentioned the UK there. So that was kind of my next question was, do you think you'll ever get back to, obviously you'll be able to see your sister, but then, wrestle in front of the UK fans again?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I went just kind of to tag along with Taya last time and see my sister. I was like, well, two things that I can do. And so I feel like I would love to get out there and get a chance at some of, like, especially some of those great wrestlers that are over there. Like so many good female wrestlers over there that I want to work with. So hopefully at some point.
Yeah. Well, as of Thursday, we're back on complete lockdown.
Really?
Yeah. The full country. So hope they reckon that we're going to open up again on December 2nd, but we'll have to see. So hopefully after in 2021 we shall see you on UK shores. So final question is, obviously with everything that's gone on, everything kind of opening back up, what is next for Heather Monroe for 2020 and 2021?
Well, I'm going to keep trucking along, keep kind of promoting myself in the best ways that I can. And then hopefully we'll see me at a bigger promotion, or just in general, I just want to be able to wrestle all weekend. I'm like, I'm ready for it again. I was like right there. So I just have to rebuild a little bit, and then hopefully I'll get back on track with it.
Great. Well, can't wait to see that. So wrapping things up, I'd just like to say thank you so much for your time, and can't wait to see you finally defeat Ryan in your best of 7. Oh, that's fab. Thanks so much, and take care, and look after yourself.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.